Meklit Hadero, welcome to Africa Montréal. I'm glad to meet you. First, you are born in Ethiopia in the early 80s, but you were raised in the United States and attended college at Yale where you study political science. My first question, why did an artist as you choose political science study?
Well, I was only an artist on the inside at that time. I didn't start taking music seriously into my life until a little bit later when I was 24 years old. So I studied political science because of the simple fact that it had the most classes that I truly felt the desire to take in university. But for me, a liberal arts degree, any type of degree in the liberal arts, was really about learning to write, learning to see the world in terms of complexity, and developing a relationship to how you think about the world and how to develop your own opinions and your own ideas and how to implement them. So it wasn't so much vocational. It's not about being a political scientist. It was about language and thought.
It's for now the society,
yes,
the psychology of
yes.
leader. My second question, shortly after your graduation, you moved to San Francisco, California, where you discover a melting pot universe of cultural, artistic. That was a nice and pretty open place for a young musician. What was your most high feeling about the experience?
For me, living in San Francisco was about not just meeting artists, but a particular type of artist, which was an artist who was engaged in the world around them, of all disciplines. Artists who were painters and photographers and filmmakers and poets and musicians, all thinking together about how to create something for themselves, for their city, and for the world. And when I met this type of artist was new for me in San Francisco. I felt very inspired and knew that I could really dive into music in that vein.
You prefer San Francisco than New York?
Yes. New York, I love New York. I grew up there when I was very young, but New York is a hustle. Okay. And San Francisco is a little more relaxed.
Very innovation. Also, you found the Arba Minch Collective, a group of Ethiopian artists in diaspora devoted to nurturing ties to their homeland through a collaboration with both traditional and contemporary artists there. My question, after a dark period in her history, Ethiopia reborn since 2 decades with her economy growing. It's a hard work for you and the other Ethiopian artists to represent the cultural of the oldest civilization of Africa.
Well, I can only represent my own life. And my own life is a life that has been a hybrid life. Okay. So that's all I can say that I represent. Now, what I was interested in when I founded the Arba Minch Collective was this idea that Ethiopian artists in diaspora were coming into their own. Artists of many disciplines were beginning to have a voice that mattered, and it did match this incredible blossoming that's happening in Ethiopia right now. So what I felt was, in order for us to stay connected with Ethiopia, as it was constantly changing, we had to go to Ethiopia often, and we had to go as a group to connect with the rapidly evolving arts and culture world over there. And it's very exciting how things are changing, and how the artists are at the forefront and really deeply embedded in the society there.
Sure. The 5 records to date, you are known for your soulful performing style and for combining New York jazz, West Coast folk, and East African influence in your music. Do you have a new musical project in which you could explore other styles?
Right now, I feel pretty satisfied with this mix of East Africa and New York and San Francisco that I have been working on for a long time. I've done many different other types of music, but right now the songwriting that I do for myself is really in that vein. I also work with a project called the Nile Project, which you might have a question about as well. I don't know. Did you know about the Nile Project?
Yes, I read about it.
So that's another project that
it's ethno-musical. It's a with the ethnomusicologist project for Egypt.
Well, I founded the Nile Project along with Mina Girgis, who is an Egyptian ethnomusicologist, and we bring together musicians from the countries of the Nile Basin, which are 11 countries in East Africa, to create music together, and for the purpose of the music, creating cross-cultural understanding so that we can dialogue with each other across the continent in more healthy ways, also with how we share the water of the Nile.
Good. How do you feel to be here at the Festival Nuits d'Afrique de Montréal for you?
This is a very special festival. I've played with Nuits d'Afrique twice before, and each time I've had wonderful experiences. I feel that the festival is a very important way that African music truly gets to represent its breadth and its wideness. There are so many different beautiful musics from the continent, and they're all here in Montréal, and they're all so wonderfully attended, and the staff is amazing, and their publicity department is incredible. So I feel this is a very special festival, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
And also Montreal, it's for artistic, cultural, it's a metropolitan melting pot of English, French, and all other ethnic origin.
It's an exciting place to be.
Exciting place to create.
Yes. And I hope to be back.
Well, thank you so much, Meklit.
Thank you.
Have a nice show tonight.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Rest me from this logic world, the cave where I was born. Spell me on the poetry of a million major and storm. The words I chose and the words my soul will keep. Will not see, will not see. Sleep.